You are not too old. You are just afraid to move. Gloria May Henderson heard those words on a Tuesday morning in Savannah, Georgia, and they stayed with her the way hymns stay, not as sound, but as feeling. Gloria was 72 years old, retired principal of Douglas Academy, a school she had led for 16 years. Tall, dark-skinned. With natural silver hair and a close-cropped fade, her granddaughter called regal Grandma, seriously regal. She had a mortgage-free home in Midtown Savannah, a healthy retirement account, and 2 adult children, Vanessa and Andre, who called every Sunday. By every measurable standard, Gloria Henderson had won. The problem was the kind that doesn't show up in measurements. It was the sound of one set of footsteps in a house built for more. It was the coffee she brewed each morning, enough for 2, always, out of a habit so old she had stopped noticing it. It was the silence that rushed back in the moment she set the phone down after the Sunday calls. It was her oldest friend Ruth, who finally said the thing out loud. They were at their usual table at a cafe on Broughton Street when Ruth set down her sweet tea and looked across at her. "You are turning into furniture, Gloria." "I'm retired, Ruth." "I didn't say you were lazy. I said you were furniture. You wake up, you walk, you read, you watch the news, you go to bed. You have stopped being and started existing. That is genuinely insulting." "Good. Be insulted. Do something about it." Gloria changed the subject, but the word lingered for days. Furniture. She stood in front of her bathroom mirror that night, sharp eyes, strong face, silver crown, and thought, "Is that what happened? Did I stop somewhere without noticing?" The studio opened on a Wednesday. The space next to the dry cleaner on her street, which had been a hair salon, then a cell phone repair shop, then boarded up for 2 years, came back to life overnight. New lighting, a tasteful sign, and music, faint but distinct, drifting through the magnolia trees, something with strings she didn't recognize, layered and unhurried. Gloria waited 4 days before going over. Ruth would have said she was stalling. Ruth would have been right. When she finally walked through the door, the interior surprised her. Light wood floors, a full mirror wall, a bar running its length. At the far end, a man with his back to her was arranging a sound system with focused, economical movements. He turned. Korean, perhaps mid-60s, with a posture that didn't come from the gym, but from decades of bodily discipline. "Good afternoon, come in." "I'm already in," she said. He smiled at that, a restrained smile, the kind that suggested he found things amusing more often than he showed. His name was Woo-Jin Choi, 30 years teaching ballroom dance in Seoul, another decade in Los Angeles. His wife, Yun-hee, had died 3 years ago. "Ovarian cancer," he said without drama. "The way you say something you've had to say enough times that the shock has worn down to plain truth." He had found this space in Savannah on a drive down the coast and decided, with a certainty he couldn't entirely explain, that this was where he would begin again. "What kind of dance?" Gloria asked. "Ballroom, waltz, foxtrot, bolero." A pause. "For adults who believe they have missed their moment." That sounds like a line designed to recruit me for something. "It is," he said. "Is it working?" Gloria went home and spent 4 days deciding she wouldn't go back. On the 5th day, she went back. The class was on a Thursday afternoon. 5 students, all over 50, all wearing the same expression of cautious hopefulness that Gloria recognized because she was almost certainly wearing it herself. Woo-Jin said that the first thing they would learn was not a step, but a posture. How to receive. "Receive what?" asked a woman named Pat. "Your partner, the music, yourself." When it was Gloria's turn to dance with Woo-Jin, she realized her jaw was clenched. She unclenched it. He positioned her hand on his shoulder with a precision that was careful. The way you hold something you consider worth the attention. "You are going to try to lead," he said quietly, before the music started. Excuse me? You are going to try to control the sequence. I can already tell. You've known me 12 minutes. You walked in here like you were evaluating the fire exits. She laughed before she could stop herself, a real one from somewhere below the ribcage. And while she was still laughing, the music started, and something in her body caught it before her brain could intervene, and they were moving. It wasn't graceful, but it wasn't wrong either. And his hand at her back was steady in a way that she found herself leaning into slightly before she caught herself. You are not too old. You are just afraid to move. He had said it when she hesitated before the first step. The weeks that followed had a quality Gloria couldn't easily name. There were the classes, Thursday and Saturday, but there were also the conversations after, when the other students had gone home and she lingered, sometimes helping stack chairs, sometimes just talking about nothing that became something. Woojin listened the way Gloria had not been listened to in years. No glancing at phones, no waiting for his turn to speak. He received the story of her marriage, of raising her children alone, of her husband's departure in 2001, and said, "He didn't break you. He made you decide that depending on someone was a liability. And you have managed magnificently ever since, needing nothing from anyone. There are worse strategies. There are, but a strategy is not a life." He told her about Yun-hee. In the last year of the illness, he had stopped teaching. He just stayed. When it was over, he said, "I did not know how to be in a room by myself. We had been one way of being for so long that when she was gone, I did not know what was left of me alone." Gloria reached across the table and put her hand over his. Neither of them said anything. Sometimes that's the language that fits. Vanessa was a corporate attorney in Charlotte, precise and loving in the way of someone raised by a woman who did everything correctly. When she noticed her mother sounding different on Sunday calls, lighter, mentioning Woo Jin with a frequency that lawyers notice, she called her brother. They drove down together in November. After dessert, Vanessa put her hands flat on the table. "Mama, we're not trying to upset you, but we're concerned. You don't know this man's full history." "How much time would be acceptable to you?" Gloria asked. "That's not the point." "How much, Vanessa?" Silence. "We just don't want anyone taking advantage of you," Andre said more gently. "Financially, emotionally." "Let me tell you something," Gloria said. She didn't raise her voice. "I ran a school with 400 students and 60 staff members. I negotiated a new teacher's contract in 2009 when the district wanted to cut benefits, and I won. I raised the two of you on a principal's salary after your father left. I am not fragile, and I am not someone who needs to be protected from her own choices." The room was quiet. "We know that, Mama," Vanessa said, softer now. "Good." Gloria stood to bring the sweet potato pie. "Then we agree." In December, Woo Jin's father, 89 years old, living alone in Busan, had fallen. Woo Jin came to the studio on a Tuesday afternoon. "I need to go back to Korea. I don't know for how long." "When?" "Thursday. It was Tuesday afternoon." There was a silence that was not empty, but full of the months behind them, of the way their conversations had become the thing she oriented her weeks around. "Would you look after the studio?" he asked. "Woo Jin, I don't teach dance." "I'm not asking you to teach. I'm asking you to make sure it doesn't go dark." He looked at her steadily. "I think you know how to do that." She understood he was not only speaking about the building. He left Thursday morning. He stopped at her gate on the way to his car and said, "You are not too old. You are just afraid to move." This time, when she heard it, she didn't feel the flutter of someone being challenged. She felt the calm of someone who already knew the answer. Gloria did what Gloria had always done when given a problem and enough time. She solved it magnificently. She brought in 2 young instructors, reorganized the class offerings, and started a weekly gathering she called The Floor. Not a class, just people, music, and chairs, arranged in a circle where anyone could talk or not talk, dance or not dance. Ruth, of course, became a fixture. "You know what you've done here?" Ruth said one Tuesday even.